Howdo, time for Spider and Old Scooter. Hot here in New Mexico. You can see one little fan going back there, and maybe in the background you can hear other fans, because we have fans going all over the house. When you don't have air conditioning, that's what you do. I've resolved that for this hot weather, a bandana on my bald head is the preferred by me headwear. And of course I wear my headlamp because I'm an advocate of headlamps, especially for old folks like me. It'll save your bones in some instance. Just last night, I was wearing my headlamp and saw, and therefore avoided stepping on a tennis ball, a doggy tennis ball, which I have stepped on before. It takes fast reactions to save yourself. But I could see it with the headlamp, and if you're an old person and you don't want to break stuff, consider it. I know it looks silly. I hear regularly from my beloved wife how silly it looks, but by golly, I'm an advocate, so there. So this is the sometimes it seems like the world is going to heck edition. We'll elaborate on that. The whole idea here is to play a game of Spider Solitaire. Before I covered her gorgeous face, that was Spider Mac, the AI, that runs this thing. So I'll do, look at that, 3 jacks and 1 queen. So I have all those things to fiddle with. It typically consumes time, but occasionally as 1, 2, 3 on that. Had lots of alternatives here on this first deal. So let's see what the alternative would be if I, in fact, do this first. Not much. If I did this, this, and this, it's probably the best I can get out of those possibilities. Maybe not, maybe not. Admitted. But that's the way I'm going to play it right now. I don't see anything else, so onward to the next one. Second deal. I'm trying, of course, to punch holes in the thin blue line here and reduce Spider Mac's tremendous power of being able to shift cards back and forth from this, the ready reserve, the thin blue line, to these deal piles, and work her magic and beat me regularly, which irritates the poo out of me. That, by the way, is as close as we get to cussing. This is no cussing zone here, since it's for old folks, and we old folks are persnickerty about the quality of the language we hear. Oh, some of us have become tolerant because of grandchildren and otherwise virtuous children, but most of us don't like all that F-bombing that pervades these days, and various other bombs. Speaking of bombs, there was the Mika and Joe tweets from our Presidente. Caused a lot of stir. Rightfully so. Stir it up. Pardon me. Send money and I'll get a mic switch for making it quiet when I cough, because I do cough. You do cough too. And we all toot. Truths that must be faced. I read that in the going to heck department, I read that the opioid epidemic is, quote, skyrocketing. The numbers from year to year are like double, things like that, in various places. What's with these people? Don't they read the paper? Don't they realize if they start shooting up because they can't buy any more OxyContin, that they may die? There's all that fentanyl out there. I mean, how could it be skyrocketing? I know these people do not read the news, or watch the news, or listen to the news when their relatives tell them, "Sweetheart, that stuff will kill you." Mom. Of course, there are a lot of moms doing it too. Did I do this? Yeah, there you go. A little positive. Now I've got a Jack 2 stack, which is pretty good. I'll just keep moving away here. Yeah. On the Mika and Joe tweets, I have this a conspiracy theory for you. Everybody's disseminating conspiracy theories, so why not old Scooter? Oh, you thought of several reasons why not? Well, fully on that. Conspiracy theory. Our president and Mr. Bannon conspiring, and they say over and over again, Prez, old pal, this is Bannon talking, your job is to get out there and get as much attention, raise as much heck, cause chaos as you can, while we, the disassemblers of the government, do stuff like challenge all the national monuments. Big talk show thing here locally on that this morning. Destroy the EPA rules. Release bad water on America again. Why would they do that? Does somebody make a lot of money by them releasing the bad water bug on us? Hard to know. Well, I actually do know quite a bit about that. Look at that. It leads me to say something like, score! And now, I got a 77. I like 77s in my private numerology. That was my, unlikely as it seems, serial number when I was in Air Force. 77K. Now that's a low serial number. It's not a serial number, Duff. But you know what I mean. Although sometimes the words to say what I mean fail me. Never happens to you, I bet. 6, and I see a 7. See, I hallucinated a move again. This happens. And I'm not even an opioid addict. Well, okay. There you go. Da-da-da. What else was I going to rail about in this world going to heck? Oh, I had this clever line that Bannon was contemplating when he was telling Trump to go out and cause as much distraction as possible. While we rip open this failure, rip open the fabric of a decent, world-leading country. USA, USA. There. I try to dip into melodrama now and again just because it's melodramatic to do so, wouldn't you say? That 5 to that 6, or this 5, that have a king, and yeah, I don't know. That's not worth it. This is, a gambling game, and I'm deciding, not to push an extra pile of chips on the table. I'm just leaning back and saying, hit me, pow. Okay, now I got a 7 and 2 8s. It really doesn't matter which one I think I go to. A 3 for a fold. Now that gives me a 6. This would have given me a 10. I've got a 10 already, but I could play it. So I'm going to do it. This is better. Then I can do that. Then I can play this 3. See? You clever devil. So if the world is not going to heck, and I'm just, a pessimist, would you write me a letter and reassure me things are better than you think, Scooter? I'm $14 ahead right now, 36. That was my best friend Jimmy Lightfoot's football number in high school. He was all district. He may have been all state. He was a heck of a football player. A fullback. We were pals. Worked in radio together. He actually helped my career along most of the time, but we would be together after he hired me to another job. He kept hiring me, and I kept following him around the country. And he sort of invented all news radio. At least he elaborated on Gordon McClendon's invention of all news radio, on Extra. 100,000 watt Mexican station just over the border. Covered the whole South. I'm out of plays, gang. I'm out of old stories. I have waxed pessimistic. I've at least plugged my headlamp fetish, which I think is very valuable for humanity, especially humanity once they get past, say, 70, which I got past 10 years ago, so I'm very cautious about where I put my tootsies. So I'm going to take my tootsies and maybe soak them in ice water. It's really hot here tonight.